There's a silent mistake that nearly every man over 60 is making, and it happens within the first 10 minutes of their day. It's not about skipping workouts or forgetting supplements. It starts at the breakfast table, or more precisely, with what's missing from it. For years, I've seen men blame age or testosterone for why things just aren't the same, why energy dips, why stamina fades, and why their mornings feel dull or disconnected from the man they used to be. But what if the real problem isn't hormonal or inevitable? What if it's nutritional? The truth is, your first meal of the day sends a powerful signal to your body. It either supports strong, steady circulation or silently shuts it down. And for most men, the choice is unconscious. Maybe it's a quick cup of coffee, a slice of toast, or nothing at all. It feels convenient, but this habit does nothing to activate nitric oxide, the molecule your body needs to open up blood vessels and keep blood flowing freely, especially to your pelvic region. And here's the kicker: by your 60s, your nitric oxide levels are already dropping dramatically. That means less oxygen-rich blood reaches your muscles, your brain, and yes, the areas that fuel physical confidence. The result: tired legs, slower recovery, and moments of frustration you'd rather not talk about. But what if the answer isn't in a bottle? What if it's already in your kitchen, humble? Overlooked and shockingly effective, enter black beans. Just 2 tablespoons of this pantry staple in the morning can help restore blood flow where it matters most. These beans are packed with L-arginine, magnesium, and anthocyanins, nutrients your body depends on to trigger nitric oxide production, relax blood vessels, and reduce inflammation. The science is clear. When L-arginine enters your system, it activates an enzyme called ENOS. This enzyme tells your arteries to widen, making it easier for blood to reach your legs, your groin, and your muscles. Anthocyanins help that nitric oxide reach the right tissues by lowering inflammation, while soluble fiber strips away LDL cholesterol, the sticky kind that clogs arteries and slows down circulation. And it's not just theory. Vascular researcher Dr. D. Fonca Hernandez found that a small serving of black beans can elevate nitric oxide levels to match those achieved with low-dose prescription vasodilators. In other words, food can do what drugs try to replicate without the side effects. One of my favorite stories comes from a 68-year-old former teacher. He started adding a spoonful of black beans to his oatmeal just 3 mornings a week. Within a month, not only was he walking the full golf course again without leg fatigue, he said mornings felt normal again, like he'd turned back the clock. No pressure, no prescriptions, just real progress. Now I know what you're thinking. Aren't beans just gas-producing carbs? That's a common myth, but with proper prep, soaking overnight, or using a pressure cooker, black beans become gentle on the stomach and incredibly nourishing. They're richer in essential amino acids than most store-bought protein bars and high in fiber to stabilize blood sugar and support digestion. No crashes, no spikes, just steady usable energy. Start small, about a quarter cup. Rinse thoroughly to wash away compounds that cause bloating. And if you have gout or take blood thinners, be mindful of purines and vitamin K. But for most people, black beans are not only safe, they're a game changer. Every spoonful supports better blood flow, steadier energy, and renewed vitality. This isn't about chasing perfection or trying to feel 25 again. It's about reclaiming what's yours: strength, stability, confidence. All of that starts with the simple choices you make each morning. You can choose the same routine that's been holding you back, or you can choose the food that quietly helps your body fight back. So the next time you open your pantry, ask yourself, are you feeding your circulation or starving it? The answer could be as simple as a spoonful of beans. Black beans are more than just a side dish. They're a nutrient-dense powerhouse that can set off a cascade of positive effects inside the body, especially for men over 60 looking to improve circulation and regain physical confidence. Inside every spoonful is a potent dose of L-arginine, an amino acid that plays a critical role in vascular health. When L-arginine enters the bloodstream, it activates an enzyme known as ENOS, short for endothelial nitric oxide synthase. This enzyme acts like a signal flare, telling the blood vessels to relax and expand. That simple action allows more oxygen-rich blood to reach critical areas of the body: the legs, the pelvic floor, and the muscles that support daily movement and performance. But L-arginine is only the beginning. Black beans are also rich in anthocyanins, natural compounds found in dark-colored plant foods. These compounds help regulate nitric oxide production and calm down chronic inflammation. Inflammation acts like a traffic jam in your arteries, preventing the blood from flowing where it's needed most. Anthocyanins restore that flow by clearing the road and letting nitric oxide do its job. Alongside these benefits is the soluble fiber found in black beans, which helps lower LDL cholesterol, the sticky kind that narrows arteries and slows down circulation. When cholesterol levels drop, blood moves more easily. That means better performance not just in everyday activity, but also in the moments that require stamina and confidence. Black beans also contain ferulic acid and caffeic acid, two antioxidant compounds that protect your blood vessels from oxidative stress. That kind of stress gradually weakens the arteries over time. These compounds help preserve the nitric oxide your body is working hard to create, extending its benefits and keeping circulation smooth and consistent. Many men who add black beans to their diet start noticing subtle but important improvements within just a few weeks. Warmer hands and feet, fewer cramps at night. Firmer, more reliable responsiveness in the morning. These are clear signs that circulation is improving, not just in the limbs, but in the pelvic region where blood flow matters most for maintaining masculine health. One example comes from a 68-year-old retired school teacher who began adding a spoonful of black beans to his oatmeal 3 mornings a week. Within a month, he could walk the full length of the golf course again without feeling like his legs were dragging. But what stood out most wasn't just his improved stamina, it was how his mornings started feeling normal again. No pressure, no prescriptions, just a quiet, steady return of vitality. To make the most of black beans, it's important to start smart. Begin with about a quarter cup, especially if your body isn't used to high-fiber legumes. Rinse them thoroughly before cooking to wash away oligosaccharides, the complex sugars that often cause gas and bloating. If you have gout, it's best to keep portions modest since black beans do contain purines which can trigger flare-ups in sensitive individuals. And if you're taking blood thinners, monitor your vitamin K intake. Black beans don't have high levels, but it's something worth being aware of as part of a balanced routine. What matters most is that something this simple can bring such noticeable changes. A spoonful of beans might not look like much on the plate, but inside the body it speaks a powerful language. Your cells understand real food, real nutrients, and real results. This is strength that doesn't come from a pharmacy. It comes from the soil. It comes from choosing what's been growing quietly in nature over what's been bottled in a lab. And now that the first part of your circulation-supporting breakfast is in place, it's time to build on that foundation. The second food in the lineup is warm, creamy, and packed with nutrients that go beyond comfort. Steel-cut oats topped with toasted almond flakes and soaked chia seeds bring structure, strength, and support to your vascular system. This isn't just about feeling full, it's targeted nutrition for blood flow and muscle function. When prepared, right, this combination offers steady energy, muscle support, and vascular repair. 3 things your body craves right after waking up. Yet many men skip breakfast entirely, going straight for a black coffee. It might feel efficient, but internally it tells a different story. Cortisol spikes, blood vessels constrict, muscles tighten, and by mid-morning energy drops, and that second or third cup of coffee just masks the crash rather than solving the root issue. Others opt for a sugary pastry or processed cereal, only to experience a spike in blood sugar followed by a hard crash before noon. These highs and lows leave the body drained and the mind foggy. A smarter alternative is a 5-minute bowl of steel-cut oats. The complex carbohydrates provide a slow, steady release of energy. Chia seeds, when soaked overnight, form a hydrating gel that slows digestion and supports sustained energy throughout the morning. Toasted almond flakes add healthy fats and magnesium, both essential for keeping blood vessels elastic and muscles responsive. This trio forms a foundational breakfast that not only fills you up, but also repairs and revitalizes your circulation. Each ingredient plays a specific role in vascular health. Oats are rich in beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber proven in clinical trials to reduce LDL cholesterol by up to 10% in just 4 weeks. Lower cholesterol widens the arteries, allowing for smoother, more consistent blood flow. Oats also contain avenanthramides, rare antioxidants that activate ENOS, the same enzyme triggered by L-arginine in black beans. This helps the body release more nitric oxide and reduce inflammation inside the vessels. Chia seeds contribute alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid that's been shown to reduce arterial stiffness and lower blood pressure. This effect is not mild, it's measurable and backed by research. Almonds, meanwhile, deliver magnesium and polyphenols that support muscle tone and vascular flexibility, rounding out the meal with critical micronutrients. Together, these ingredients transform breakfast into more than a routine. They become a tool for improving blood flow, maintaining strength, and setting the tone for your entire day. The difference is not just nutritional, it's experiential. With better circulation, men report steadier energy, sharper focus, and a return of physical confidence. This kind of progress doesn't require extreme diets or major lifestyle shifts. It begins with small, deliberate choices made early in the day. 1 spoonful of beans, 1 bowl of oats, 1 decision to feed your body instead of rushing past its needs. This is what functional wellness looks like. It's not glamorous, but it works. The next phase in this journey continues with one more essential food, a drink actually, that supports circulation in a completely different way. But before that, take a moment to recognize the shift already underway. From the first bite, your body starts responding. Blood begins to move more freely, muscles receive more oxygen, energy becomes steadier, and what once felt like a slow decline begins to feel like progress again. This isn't just food, it's function. And the story continues. Steel-cut oats, almond flakes, and soaked chia seeds may seem like a humble breakfast bowl, but the impact they have on circulation and energy is anything but ordinary. This simple switch from sugary cereals or empty breakfasts to a nutrient-dense morning meal can completely shift how the body feels and performs even before lunchtime arrives. It's not just about filling your stomach. It's about giving your body a steady foundation complex carbohydrates from oats that release energy slowly without the roller coaster of blood sugar spikes and crashes. That means no more sudden fatigue before noon, no more chasing the second or third cup of coffee just to stay upright. The soaked chia seeds bring more than just texture. They add fiber, plant protein, and hydration, all of which help slow digestion and extend your energy curve well into the afternoon. Meanwhile, the almond flakes supply healthy fats and magnesium, 2 critical nutrients that keep muscles working and blood vessels relaxed and flexible. At the core of this breakfast is the oats themselves. Steel-cut oats are loaded with a special type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan. This fiber actively removes LDL cholesterol from the bloodstream. In clinical studies, a single bowl per day has been shown to lower LDL levels by as much as 10% in just 4 weeks. Lower cholesterol translates into wider arteries, and wider arteries mean stronger and more consistent blood flow to the places that rely on it most: your brain, your limbs, and your pelvic floor. Oats also contain avenanthramides, a rare group of antioxidants unique to this grain. These compounds activate the same ENOS enzyme that black beans trigger, the one responsible for helping the body produce nitric oxide and relax blood vessels. But avenanthramides do even more. They suppress a signaling pathway known as NF-κB, which drives inflammation in the vascular system. When that pathway quiets down, the blood vessels stay soft, open, and responsive to the needs of the body. In one study, men who added oats to their daily diet experienced a 1% improvement in flow-mediated dilation, a precise measurement of how arteries expand under pressure. That might sound small, but in vascular science, a 1% gain is meaningful. It reflects healthier blood vessels that are performing better in real time. Adding chia seeds to this equation brings additional benefits. When soaked overnight in water, chia seeds form a mineral-rich gel that coats the digestive tract and supports a slow, stable energy release throughout the morning. Inside this gel is ALA alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. ALA has been shown in studies involving people with metabolic syndrome to reduce arterial stiffness and lower blood pressure without medication. The result isn't subtle, it's trackable. Chia seeds also gently encourage the body to release water through the kidneys. This mild diuretic effect helps reduce the pressure inside the blood vessels, allowing the heart to push blood with less resistance. Better blood flow means more oxygen and nutrients delivered to muscles and pelvic tissues where circulation has a direct effect on physical performance and vitality. The transformation isn't just theory. One real-world example comes from a 64-year-old accountant dealing with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. He made a simple change, swapping his sugary boxed cereal for this oatmeal almond chia combination. 8 weeks later, his lab results told the story. His endothelial progenitor cells, which repair blood vessel damage, had doubled. His insulin resistance dropped by 12%. But what struck him most wasn't the numbers. It was the renewed confidence he felt, especially in the bedroom. He said that shift came before the lab reports even arrived, and that kind of result speaks louder than charts ever could. There are a few key preparation tips to get the most out of this meal. Soak chia seeds overnight in water or unsweetened almond milk. Dry chia can absorb liquid rapidly and swell in the esophagus if not hydrated properly. Steel-cut oats are usually well tolerated, but anyone with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity should choose certified gluten-free oats. Oats contain a protein called avenine that, while different from gluten, can still cause reactions in some people. Almond flakes are nutrient-dense but also high in calories, so for those watching their weight, limit the serving to no more than 2 tablespoons. What you've built with this bowl is more than a meal. It's a daily ritual of vascular support. The beta-glucan in oats sweeps cholesterol from your arteries. The polyphenols in almonds and oats help repair the delicate lining of blood vessels. The hydration and anti-inflammatory properties of chia keep everything flowing, especially in the areas of the body where healthy circulation plays a central role in how you move, feel, and perform each day. This is functional nutrition in action. A simple 5-minute preparation that rewires your body's energy systems and repairs the pathways that age and lifestyle often wear down. There is power in routine, and when that routine starts with intentional nourishment, the results ripple through the entire day. With each bowl, the arteries open a little wider, the muscles receive a little more support, and the body remembers what it feels like to function at its best. This isn't complicated. It's accessible, affordable, and grounded in science. It's a habit that rewards consistency, and it lays the groundwork for everything that comes next in a well-lived, well-fueled life. Green tea is more than just a warm beverage. For many, it's a quiet but powerful shift in their daily rhythm that restores energy, supports circulation, and brings back a sense of self that seemed to be fading. It began with one simple change for a 72-year-old man named Archie. Sharp thinker, retired engineer, still did crossword puzzles and pen, but something was off. His drive, his stamina, his physical confidence had been slowly declining. He wasn't looking for another pill. He wanted to feel like himself again. Instead of adding a prescription, he removed a habit. Every afternoon, he was reaching for soda to get through the slump. It seemed harmless, but it wasn't helping. He replaced it with a single intentional ritual, a cup of hot Suncha green tea. 3 weeks later, he walked in with a grin. His exact words were, "My kettle's cheaper than Viagra," and he meant it. That one switch made a measurable difference in how he felt and performed. What makes green tea so effective isn't just the warmth or the caffeine. It's a compound called EGCG, short for epigallocatechin galate. This natural antioxidant is found in high amounts in quality green tea, especially Suncha. EGCG activates the PI3K ACT pathway, which tells the body to produce more nitric oxide. That's the molecule responsible for relaxing arteries and improving blood flow, particularly in areas like the pelvic region, where circulation plays a central role in physical responsiveness and performance. The effect is not only real, it's rapid. One clinical study showed that drinking a single cup of green tea increased flow-mediated dilation. how well arteries expand under pressure by up to 30% in just 2 hours. That kind of change isn't subtle. It's the difference between restricted flow and open, flexible vessels that can deliver oxygen-rich blood where it's needed most. Unlike black tea or energy drinks, green tea retains more of the gallocatechins that preserve nitric oxide and fight oxidative stress. These compounds prevent the breakdown of nitric oxide, keeping it active and effective longer. When combined with other circulation-friendly foods like steel-cut oats and black beans, green tea becomes a powerful third element in a morning routine designed to energize the body from the inside out. Archie didn't just feel better, he had proof. After 6 weeks of drinking green tea daily, his follow-up duplex ultrasound showed an 18% improvement in cavernosal peak systolic velocity, the speed at which blood flows into the penile arteries. For context, even a 10% increase is considered significant in clinical terms. Archie nearly doubled that, and he did it without medications, without side effects, and without guesswork. Just a simple daily cup of tea. For those looking to add green tea to their routine preparation matters, use loose-leaf suncha if possible, around 2 grams per cup. Steep it in water heated to 80 degrees Celsius, not boiling. 3 minutes is all it takes. Go longer or use hotter water and you risk destroying the very catechins your arteries need. For best results, drink 1 cup in the morning to set nitric oxide levels for the day. If intimacy is on the schedule, have a second cup about an hour before. That timing helps trigger short-term vasodilation, which means blood vessels expand more easily when needed. Adding a squeeze of lemon increases absorption of catechins in the gut, thanks to the vitamin C. This amplifies the effect without adding sugar or calories. While green tea is powerful, moderation is key. Stick to under 5 cups a day. High doses of EGCG, especially from concentrated supplements, can place stress on the liver, particularly for those on cholesterol-lowering medications like statins. When used wisely, green tea becomes more than a drink. It's a circulation-supporting habit that delivers real results. In clinical studies involving men with coronary artery disease, a daily dose of 300 milligrams of EGCG improved blood flow to the pelvic region, improving how the arteries performed in moments of physical connection. These effects are not imagined. They are measurable, consistent, and supported by both science and lived experience. This simple ritual is not about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming function and restoring what matters. Energy, clarity, confidence, and strength. Not because of a miracle cure, but because of small, sustainable actions that compound over time. In a world full of shortcuts and quick fixes, sometimes the real answer is in the cup you hold in your hands, warm, steady, and quietly working behind the scenes to rebuild your health from within. Green tea is not hype, it's habit, and it's one that rewrites the story your body has been telling, one sip at a time. For those who take medications like sildenafil, timing green tea intake properly is essential. Green tea catechins can interact with liver enzymes responsible for metabolizing certain drugs. Spacing the tea at least 2 hours apart from such medications ensures smooth processing and reduces the chance of interference. This small adjustment supports both the medication and the circulation benefits of green tea. Some concerns have been raised about whether green tea lowers testosterone, but studies show that any such effect only appears at extremely high doses, well beyond what most people drink. Even then, the change is minor and temporary. For the vast majority of men, the circulation-enhancing effects of green tea far outweigh any potential hormonal shifts. Every cup of green tea acts like a gentle script for your cardiovascular system. It supports smoother blood flow, more elastic arteries, and a quieter heart. For many, it also quietly restores confidence, especially in moments when it matters most. That's the kind of result that makes habits worth keeping. And while green tea is powerful on its own, its effect can be multiplied when paired with the right food. One of the most effective companions sits right in your refrigerator: blueberries. A handful of fresh or frozen blueberries, something that fits easily in the palm of your hand, holds the ability to open up arteries before your smartwatch even logs your first few hundred steps. Within just 2 hours of eating them, the active compounds in blueberries begin to improve the function of your blood vessels. They help arteries relax and deliver oxygen-rich blood more smoothly across the body, including to areas linked to energy, stamina, and intimacy. For men over 60, this natural support is not just helpful, it's essential. There's a common myth that fruit should be avoided because of its sugar content, but that doesn't hold up under scrutiny. A full cup of blueberries contains roughly 10 grams of naturally occurring sugar, less than the amount in a single slice of bread. And more importantly, those sugars are wrapped in a matrix of fiber antioxidants and bioactive compounds that help the body use them efficiently. Blueberries are particularly rich in anthocyanins, the same class of compounds found in black beans and red grapes. These molecules have been proven to stabilize blood sugar and support vasodilation, which means they actively help blood vessels expand rather than contract. The timing of blueberry intake matters. First thing in the morning, the body is in a vulnerable state. Nitric oxide levels are naturally low while oxidative stress is higher. That combination makes arteries more prone to stiffness. Starting the day with blueberries helps counter that effect. Anthocyanins in blueberries stimulate the body's nitric oxide production and reduce oxidative stress, restoring a healthier, more flexible vascular state. Clinical research confirms this impact. Consuming 240 grams of blueberries, approximately 1 cup, can improve flow-mediated dilation by up to 2%. That might seem small, but even a 1.5 to 2% improvement in this marker reflects significantly better blood flow and oxygen delivery, especially to lower body regions that often experience decline with age. These benefits aren't fleeting. When blueberries become a regular part of the diet, the circulation improvements build over time. The body metabolizes blueberry compounds into bioactive byproducts such as protocatechoic acid and vanillic acid. These molecules influence how genes regulate vascular tone, how the body controls inflammation, and how cells interact with artery walls. That means the improvements become not just functional but cellular. They affect the way the body maintains and protects its vascular system over the long haul. Regular blueberry intake has also been shown to lower systolic blood pressure by 5 to 7 points. For individuals with hypertension or circulatory issues, that kind of drop is not just helpful, it's clinically meaningful. And nitric oxide levels improve alongside blood pressure, creating a dual benefit. Arteries become more responsive, more open, and better able to carry blood to places where healthy function matters most. One practical example comes from a 70-year-old man with a history of smoking and long-term blood pressure and performance medication use. He didn't overhaul his entire lifestyle. He simply began adding blueberries to plain yogurt 3 mornings a week. Within 6 months, the results were clear. His vascular test showed that flow-mediated dilation, his arteries' ability to expand, had doubled from 3% to 6%. That shift wasn't theoretical. He reported more energy during the day, greater focus, and improved responsiveness at night. With the guidance of his doctor, he even reduced his ED medication by half. More importantly, he said he felt like himself again, 10 years younger without chasing extremes. Blueberries offer a simple, accessible way to reinforce the circulation-focused morning routine. They work quickly and effectively, and when used consistently, they build results that go deeper than short-term energy. They become part of the body's rhythm, feeding into nitric oxide production, arterial elasticity, and cellular protection. For men focused on improving stamina, energy, and performance, this is a habit worth starting and sustaining. From the first cup of tea to a spoonful of berries, every choice made at breakfast has the power to support the body's most vital systems. These are not gimmicks. They are science-backed, everyday solutions that help restore what time may have dulled without medication, without pressure, and without compromise. He added frozen blueberries to plain yogurt just 3 mornings a week. No drastic changes, no complicated diet, just a small habit layered into his routine. 6 months later, his brachial artery function was measured again. The results showed that his flow-mediated dilation had doubled, moving from 3% to 6%. That improvement meant his arteries were functioning more efficiently under pressure, delivering oxygen-rich blood where it was needed most. He reported feeling more mentally alert, physically energized, and more confident in the bedroom. With his doctor's guidance, he was even able to reduce his ED medication by half. He said he felt 10 years younger, and the numbers backed it up. For most people, blueberries are safe and easy to integrate into a daily meal. They're low in vitamin K, which means they typically don't interfere with blood thinners like warfarin. However, for those on medication, especially blood thinners, it's wise to check in with a doctor first. Blueberries are slightly high in oxalates, so anyone with a history of kidney stones should stick to half a cup instead of a full one. But for the majority, this fruit is a reliable, low-risk way to support circulation and protect vascular health. Each time you eat a cup of blueberries in the morning, you're doing something important for your circulation in real time. Think of your arteries like highways early in the day. Blueberries act like traffic signals that turn green, clearing the way for blood to flow exactly where it needs to go. That includes the areas of the body most responsible for stamina performance and self-assurance. This is not just about heart health or managing numbers on a chart. It's about restoring vitality and regaining trust in your body. This small step carries a big message. Strength hasn't disappeared. It's simply waiting for consistent support. Something as unassuming as a handful of blueberries can begin turning things around, not with loud declarations or extreme routines, but through steady daily intention. The fact that this message resonates means one thing. You care about taking control. That intention matters. It changes outcomes. And with the right tools, change is not only possible, it's inevitable. The next step isn't about waiting for motivation or the perfect time. It's about starting today. Not next week, not after another delay. Today. This is not a season to coast. It's a moment to choose vitality. Right now, the information and tools are in your hands, but knowledge only becomes transformation when action follows. So let breakfast become your daily foundation, your quiet move towards stronger circulation, sharper focus, and restored energy. Start tomorrow morning with one of the 4 foods covered in this journey, not all 4. Just one. Begin there. Because perfection isn't the target, consistency is. The body listens to what you do repeatedly, not what you promise someday. The first hour after waking is a window your body is biologically designed to respond to. Blood vessels are more open to nutrient delivery. Muscles are more receptive. Hormonal rhythms are starting to regulate. Miss this window and you delay progress. Use it wisely and you set the tone for the entire day. The benefits become noticeable quickly. A warming sensation in the lower abdomen, stronger steps as you walk upstairs, more energy in your thighs and hips, more stability in your balance. Within weeks, many report improvements in responsiveness, stamina, and sleep. Even more than the physical benefits, there's a shift in mindset. A sense of agency returns, a renewed sense of hope. That shift is real and it builds with each small win. After 2 decades of working in men's health, one truth stands out. Aging does not take away your strength. It only takes what you stop defending. The real danger isn't time, it's resignation. Too many give up before their body truly fails. But those who act, who reclaim their routine, who commit to nourishing their system, they experience a second act. And it often begins with food. Let's revisit the 4 circulation-supporting foods that make this shift possible. First, black beans rich in magnesium and arginine to relax blood vessels and boost nitric oxide production. Second, oatmeal topped with almond flakes, a blend that stabilizes blood sugar, lowers LDL cholesterol, and supports vascular repair. Add chia seeds to that mix for an additional nitric oxide boost and hydration support. Third, green tea, a natural vasodilator that reduces inflammation and promotes blood flow to areas most often affected by age. And fourth, blueberries, which fight oxidative stress, improve arterial flexibility, and reinforce the effects of every other food on the list. Timing matters. Consume one of these within 60 minutes of waking to make the most of your body's natural rhythms. That one habit can create real momentum. Reclaim your mornings. Let your fork become your most powerful instrument of change. This is your next chapter, and it starts tomorrow at your breakfast table. The story is still being written, and every decision you make helps shape the outcome. The body will follow the message you sent it. Let that message be one of strength, intention, and renewal. This isn't the end of the road, it's the beginning of the next phase. Let breakfast lead the way. That's the end of today's video. Thanks for watching and taking the time to invest in your health. Wishing you strength, energy, and steady progress every day. If you found this helpful, give it a like, drop a comment below to share your thoughts, and subscribe to Healthy Hues Wellness for more simple, science-backed ways to reclaim vitality. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Take care and see you in the next one.